In ancient Rome, there was the Flamen Dialis and the Flaminica Dialis. This was the high priest and high priestess of Jupiter. It was an incredibly sought after and important position, but it came with certain things that neither were allowed to do. And Aulus Gellius in the 2nd century AD gives us a list of some of the things that the couple weren't allowed to do. And I'll start with what he indicates that the high priest was unable to do. So to start with, he was unable to ride a horse. He couldn't see an army drawn up in battle. He wasn't allowed to wear a ring unless it had a gem in it. Couldn't have a knot in his headdress or any part of his clothing. He couldn't touch a she-goat, raw flesh, ivy or beans. He couldn't sleep more than 3 nights away from his own house and his own bed, in which no one else was allowed to sleep, by the way. And apparently at the foot of the bed, he had a box of sacrificial cakes. Nice touch. He also had to make sure that his nail cuttings and nail clippings were buried near a fruitful tree. And he had to wear a cap when he was outside, quite famous conical cap. He also couldn't be naked outside. Well, there we go. He could also not touch any bread that had been fermented with yeast. Now, when it came to his wife, the Flaminica Dialis, she had apparently much the same restrictions. However, there were a few that were specific to her. So apparently she wore a dyed robe at all times, and she had to have a twig in her headdress that came from a fruitful tree. And she couldn't go up more than 3 rungs on a ladder. Unclear why. And at the festival of the Argi, which I will talk about at some point because it's absolutely fascinating, she had to make sure that her hair was unkept and it hadn't been dressed or combed or anything. So there we go. These are some of the things that they were unable to do. Are any of them particularly something you would be happy to go without? Or perhaps you're just thinking about those cakes at the foot of the bed? I am.